In a tense and tragic sequence of events, former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and Emmy-winning soap actress Eileen Davidson has come under fire for a social media post. The post was made in the immediate aftermath of the assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was 31 years old. He was the founder of Turning Point USA. He was fatally shot on September 10th. The incident happened while he was speaking at a campus event at Utah Valley University. It took place during a student question and answer session. Authorities arrested 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. He is being held without bail. He faces preliminary charges that include aggravated death. He also faces felony discharge of a firearm and obstruction of justice. Investigators said Robinson allegedly wrote the words, "Hey, fascist, catch," on one of the bullets used. This detail has intensified the national conversation. It has raised questions about motive, rhetoric, and political violence. Screenshots of a since-deleted Instagram post by Eileen Davidson circulated widely. They drew immediate condemnation from many quarters. In the deleted post, Davidson wrote, "I'm not in support of what happened to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk was in support of what happened to Charlie Kirk." Many readers interpreted the remark as mocking. Others said it excused the defeating, rather than offering sober commentary. Within hours, Davidson attempted to clarify her position. She posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. She said she would never celebrate an assassination. She asked critics not to twist her words. Despite her clarification, the reaction online grew sharply negative. Many users called the post callous and insensitive. Some commentators accused Davidson of trying to make a political point. They argued she used Kirk's past statements on gun violence, but her words appeared to celebrate a real human death. One critic wrote, "But you did," and then deleted it, not realizing that the internet is forever. "How dare you?" Davidson replied publicly. She said, "I stand by my post, sweetie." This terse response further inflamed the conversation. Other users wrote harsher messages. They accused Davidson of celebrating an assassination. They called her posts disgusting and tasteless. Former fans expressed disappointment. Some said they unfollowed or unfriended acquaintances who shared similar memes after the defeating. Turning Point USA, the group Kirk founded, issued a statement. It expressed deep sorrow. It confirmed his passing. Kirk's widow, Erica, released an emotional video tribute. She described her husband as a devoted father and husband. She vowed to carry forward his mission. In her message, Erica described the pain of suddenly becoming a widow. She shared a heartbreaking image. Her young child had asked, "Where's Daddy?" Erica promised the grief and anger would turn into activism. She said she would carry on her husband's work. A public memorial was scheduled for September 24th. It was set to take place at Arizona's State Farm Stadium. Organizers expected thousands to gather. They planned to pay tribute and mourn together. Charlie Kirk rose to prominence as a conservative youth leader. He built one of the most visible campus-focused organizations on the right. He gained influence through speaking tours and social media. He built a network of young conservative activists. He became a polarizing figure. His rhetoric often drew sharp critique from the left. Defenders described him as a passionate advocate for free speech. Critics said he often used provocative and inflammatory rhetoric. Eileen Davidson has had a long career in television. She starred in soap operas. She also wrote mystery novels. She later joined reality television. She won Daytime Emmy Awards for roles on The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives. She joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alongside her close friend Lisa Rinna. She has also written several soap-inspired mystery novels. She is married to actor Vincent Van Patten. Davidson has not avoided politics. She has been a vocal critic of Donald Trump and other conservative figures. The Davidson controversy shows the intersection of celebrity, politics, and social media. In this era, offhand remarks can spread globally in minutes. Supporters of Davidson say her post was meant as dark commentary. They argue it related to Kirk's past statements on gun deaths. They say critics took her words out of context. They argue she was punished for a poorly worded remark. Opponents counter that context does not excuse tone. They argue mocking or appearing to celebrate a real death crosses a moral line. The argument highlights national questions about responsibility in public speech, especially when leaders and influencers discuss violence and guns. For many, Kirk's 2023 comments about gun deaths are central. He said some gun deaths were worth it to protect Second Amendment rights. Critics see that as dangerous rhetoric. Supporters see it as political conviction. What is clear is that social media accelerates outrage. Complex events are reduced to viral sound bites. Screenshots and clips travel faster than careful analysis. In moments of grief, social media becomes a battleground for political points. Public figures who post without care risk becoming targets of public anger. After her clarification, Davidson's defenders argued she did not celebrate death. They pointed to her humanitarian stance. Critics remained unconvinced. They said her timing was poor. They said she had an obligation to show restraint. Commentators suggested private opinions would have been less inflammatory, especially when a family was grieving. The episode raises questions about the standards applied to celebrities. Some say public figures must meet higher standards. Their words carry more weight. Others worry this standard discourages honest discourse. It could encourage self-censorship. The reputational damage to Davidson is uncertain. It depends on whether she issues a full apology. It depends on how media coverage develops. For Turning Point USA and conservatives, Kirk's death spurred mourning. It also spurred calls for unity. Leaders condemned political violence. They framed the death as a result of hostile rhetoric. They urged supporters to stay vigilant. Authorities said the investigation is ongoing. Motive and premeditation are central questions. Officials cautioned against rushing to conclusions. They said more details would emerge. Journalists covering the story face challenges. They must balance timely reporting with responsibility. They must avoid amplifying unverified claims. The situation invites reflection about how victims and suspects are treated. Ethicists argue for respect for victims and their families. Others emphasize transparent reporting. The response to Davidson's post reflects deep political polarization. Almost every public incident is filtered through an ideological lens. That polarization makes it hard to separate moral decency from politics. History shows backlash often follows comments made during national grief. Social media has amplified this pattern. Some figures survive such controversies by apologizing. Others never recover. For Davidson, options include a clearer apology. She could engage in dialogue about political violence, or she could remain silent. Her choice will shape public perception. It will also shape whether audiences treat the incident as settled. Public reaction is not uniform. Some fans remain loyal but disappointed. Others critique broader trends in celebrity commentary. The episode highlights media literacy. Readers must pause to consider context and timing. Social media platforms also face scrutiny. They amplify and moderate provocative content. Debates continue about moderation policies. Scholars note speech is protected, but incitement has limits. Davidson's comments do not meet legal standards, but they have social and reputational consequences. Ultimately, the episode mirrors society's struggles. It shows polarized politics, a 24-hour news cycle, and blurred lines between private and public speech. It raises questions about empathy and accountability. Experts say public figures must take care when commenting on violent events. Even offhand remarks can normalize harmful attitudes. Context matters, but empathy matters more. Public figures must consider the human cost. Celebrities often post without mediation. That increases the risk of poorly considered words. Some call for more media training for celebrities. Politicians, pundits, and celebrities reacted. Many condemned the violence. Some criticized those who seemed to revel in it. A number of commentators urged restraint. They said focus should remain on the family and the investigation. Family advocates highlighted the trauma faced by survivors. Mental health professionals warned of secondary trauma. They said families need privacy and support. Security experts pointed to campus safety. Universities are reviewing event protocols. They must balance free speech and safety. Legal scholars discussed liability for events. Political leaders used the moment to call for unity. They pledged to prevent further violence. Religious leaders called for peaceful responses. Campus groups planned vigils. Social media companies faced renewed scrutiny. Platforms are under pressure to enforce standards. Some ethicists say faster moderation is needed. Others warn of overreach. Amid all of this, Kirk's family asked for privacy. Supporters organized memorials. Turning Point USA announced plans to continue his work. The defeating of one high-profile activist raised questions about polarization. It raised questions about the tone of national debate. It raised questions about rhetorical escalation leading to violence. As the investigation continues, institutions will wrestle with accountability. For the shooter, for those who inspire violence, for public figures who inflame tensions. The episode underscored the fragility of public life. It showed the need for careful words. It reminded the media of the importance of verified facts. It offered lessons in measured response. It showed the need to center victims and families in public discourse. The coming days will bring more details. They may reshape public opinion. For now, the nation waits for clarity and justice.